Hello, everyone. It's Chrissy and Tanner from Common Sense Education, back in action. Here we are with another video for you. And remember, there is one every Tuesday. So if school has started for you, please tell your friends and subscribe to the channel, and we will be here for you throughout the duration. So today, Tanner, it is your turn. And I believe you have a tool to tell us about.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a site called Thinkalong.org. So there's the web address right down there. This is, as the web address indicates, a nonprofit organization, and more specifically, one driven by Connecticut Public, it's called, which is, from what I can gather, like the PBS affiliate of the state of Connecticut or something along those lines. And it's
a lot
really
of lighthouses featured and rocky shorelines.
The home of David Letterman, coming to you through Thinkalong.org, which, as our review states, is sort of a PBS-ified approach to discussing controversial issues or having debates in the classroom, facilitating sort of pro-con arguments. We really liked this tool, particularly because it makes such great use of all of the immense resources at the disposal of PBS, from YouTube videos to podcasts, to PBS NewsHour to articles. It's got a ton of content there and offers a really good framework for discussing these topics. So first thing to notice here is when you go to the topic section, there is just a ton of topics, and they really run the gamut. So from something like, a good kind of general topic that isn't going to necessarily, is going to be a little bit easier to teach, let's say, like, can money buy happiness? To more current cultural, political topics like, should gentrification be stopped? Should we eat more bugs? Should women required to register for the draft? Just all sorts of different types of topics. So whether you're an experienced educator that is used to facilitating these kind of discussions, or someone just sort of dipping your toe in having these kinds of talks in your classroom, then there's going to be something for you. We did notice that there are some topics that maybe are missing here, but perhaps over time they'll get added. But it seems like some of the more controversial issues perhaps are left off for now. But there are so many topics, and there's a nice little set of filters here, but really I just kind of like scrolling through. When you get into any one of the topics, they all follow the exact same structure. They have a nice share to Google Classroom link, and they follow this basic structure of watching, listening, reading, thinking deeply, and then contemplating. Each one of these tabs has curated content on the subject. And you get a nice multimodal experience here where you're watching a video, you're then listening to something, you can then read a featured article, and then there are, under the Think Deeper section, a ton more to dig into, often articles in this section. And each one of the topics follows that structure. And they also have, for each topic, these 3 downloadables. So there's a teacher guide that's pretty basic, but gives you a behind the scenes peek, kind of a preview of the key things that'll be discussed in the various media that's been curated. There's this investigate worksheet that's meant to be used alongside the kind of watch and listen sections where students can take notes as they run through those resources. And then there's the contemplate section where, let me show you here. On the site itself, you kind of have these flip cards that structure like a media literacy critique of the media that was curated. And this is all from the Center for Media Literacy. And this worksheet allows students to kind of take notes and answer those questions and turn them in if they would like, or if you would like. At the end, once you go through all of that, which could easily take a couple class periods, I think, and could be a mixture of in-class, independent work, paired group work, or kind of take-home activities. You then are asked to insert pro and con arguments, and you can do a bunch here. And once you do that, you submit a response, you get a downloadable that's sort of in this kind of format. So students can fill those out and then email them or print them out and turn them into teachers. So what I really like about this is how, if you go through a few of these topics, students will really get practice thinking in this mode. And I love that for every topic, you can experience that topic through different means. One thing we did notice, in addition to some topics that we would have liked to have seen discussed being left out, I was also noticing just, sometimes in some of the topics, I was hoping that there was a little bit more media or text in support of the either pro or con side of an argument. A lot of times, as we know, when you read through an article or a video, there's kind of an argument ultimately being made, and the pendulum sort of swings on one side or another. And I could see that making it challenging for students to fully articulate pro and con arguments for some of the topics. But in general, they're pretty good, and teachers can always curate some additional resources to help out with that, or often these additional resources become very helpful for that. I was also noticing, while they recommend this site for predominantly middle school, we kind of upped it a bit, because I was looking at the reading level of a lot of this, and it was coming in firmly high school. So I'm not quite sure about, with middle school students, you'd need to adapt it, I think, a bit. You couldn't just let them loose. The reading level is quite high, although all of the videos and everything have closed caption and that kind of thing to make it much more accessible.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it could stretch into high school. And I love that idea of kids starting with certain topics that maybe aren't as challenging or threatening or or even scary for the teacher to approach. Learn that framework, practice it, and then as kids get more acclimated to that, then you can maybe you feel more comfortable stepping into the things that are potentially more volatile, because it's a little more boundaried and contained, which is really nice.
It's clear in the design of the site. They were like, let's put a nice mixture here so that this doesn't feel too intimidating or too heavy. And if you dig into the structure they have, you really end up focusing on the sources, sort of extrapolating their arguments, getting, understanding them, and really focusing on media analysis, which I think tends to take the temperature down in a room around some of these topics. And the fact that the end goal is to just lay out pro and con for the topic versus really taking one side or the other is super valuable. And I really think this is a standout framework for critical media literacy discussion.
Yeah, great. I think that's a great resource for teachers to know about. I wish I'd had it when I was teaching, but it was back in mimeograph days. All right. Well, thank you. If you like this tool talk review information video, there are more to check out. You can like and subscribe, and you can also visit our site so you can see more reviews, lots of other resources for you there. And we hope that we can see you again soon.
You sound uncertain about that possibility.
No, I really do. I really mean it. What I'm actually doing right now is searching for the end bumper. And here it comes. There we go. All All right. See you soon. Thanks for watching.